presented by Under Armour and Sleeper Fantasy. Welcome to Light Years. Aaron Larsoul. And you know what? Everyone listening to this knows they lost 123-124 to the Sacramento Kings. I don't think that really covers it. I feel like it's officially time to have an honest conversation about the Golden State Warriors. I'm at with it. It's not bad enough they did not qualify for the in-season tournament. It's not bad enough that they had a 20-plus point lead. I want to say 24 at the high point.
Yeah, I think that was the high water mark, yeah.
Yeah. The composure down the stretch, I don't know how you can look at these guys and be like, they're champions. They'll figure it out. Because against a Sacramento Kings team who, and I think we all agree, De'Aaron Fox is a hell of a player, and Mike Brown's a damn good coach, and they have a good thing going. I think this game is the official, and dude, we're not even December. It's over. Time to officially consider changing things. Game for me.
Yeah, so, and by the way, shout out to the in-season tournament because your viewers, listeners,
we're all into it.
It was saying after the Wolves came back and beat OKC, it turned into, can the Warriors win by 12? And the Warriors were up 12, 15, 17 for most of the night, got it up to as high as 24. So shout out to the in-season tournament because that was kind of fun. But when it got into the fourth quarter and that 12-point lead, that 15-point lead dwindled to 8 and then 6 and then 4 and then so at some point it just becomes let's win the game. And Kenny Smith on TNT says, right, like once the house is burned, like there's nothing to do, right? Once the house is on fire, you got to get the women and children out. And so that's kind of what it felt like for the Warriors. It was win by 12, and then by the time it got to just win the game, then it was kind of like it was too late. I think there are plenty of culprits. Number one is Steve Kerr, but we can get to that if you want.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to go about it. I think we should start with down the stretch. They'd already given away the game. Like, in terms of advancing to the in-season tournament, it was still on the table, but they had already bled away a 20.
Yes.
In the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And it was kind of, let's save this game. And who was the hottest player for the Warriors at that point? Moses Moody.
Yeah. But no, take him out, though. Take him out. Do you have any idea why?
Yeah, because Steve wanted to go with his guys. It's really...
But he didn't have CP3. CP3 is out with whatever.
With the starting lineup, he went with Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney, Draymond Green. I don't know which one of those guys should have been benched for Moody. You could make a case for any of them, honestly, for matchup reasons.
Dre wasn't it either.
Sure, but you could also say take Looney off and go small and space it out. You could say Klay was unable to get a shot off and didn't know what he was doing, take him out. You could say Wiggins, after the very hot start, wasn't doing much. You could make a case for any of them. Anyone watching the game could see Moses Moody was the hottest player on the floor at that point. 4 for 4. Yes. Also, hit at least 3 shots called off during fouls. Like, he wasn't missing. He was just in one of those, like...
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like he hasn't been playing well in general, but he clearly had the hot hand. And he should have been on the floor because even though he's young, he showed way more composure than any of these championship players, including Steph, by the way. He showed more composure than any of them. And I think that's kind of the Warriors' issue right now.
But let's go back before that, though. Why was he sitting and why was Pod sitting for Corey Joseph?
I don't think Corey Joseph played poorly. But
he didn't. No, he didn't. But I don't understand the theory of the case there.
Well, I mean, we got the box score up right now. Look at it. It's Steve Kerr is saying, and I think this is important context. Steve Kerr has said, this is the deepest team I've ever had. I have 12 players. I want to play. I can't play them all. I don't know where to go. You know, it's kind of, he's doing the coaches like, it's hard to figure it out because I have so many players. And, you know, pushed into a foxhole game, what does he do? He rides the 5 guys he knows the entire way, no matter how they're playing. So it's hard for me to take him seriously at his word. Like, oh, I have so many players. Moses should be on the floor. Oh, Jonathan's good. Oh, Pods, I want to play him more. Well,
so
you see exactly. Can I ask you a question? Please. Actions speak louder than words.
Correct.
You tell me exactly what you think when you get into a must-win game, and
that's exactly
and that's my point. You say all that stuff like you like these players. You don't like any of them. You just want to play veterans. You're just Doc Rivers, honestly.
So
that's like what it is at this point.
Kuminga was awful tonight. He was plainly awful tonight. But Moses was great tonight. There is literally nothing else he could have done positively to encourage Steve to give him more minutes. So if I'm if I'm Moses Moody, I say, if like CP is out, if tonight when I play incredibly well is not, I can't play tonight, then when do I get to play?
And it's not just the shot making for Moody, just to be clear. Like he couldn't miss tonight, and that's important because end of the day, putting the ball in the basket is the most important skill. It was getting loose balls, making that like he was just playing a good all around game. You know,
I think there's a bigger question, there's a bigger there's a bigger conversation to have. I mean, and look, I know everybody, I know the goons here are gonna be, the Wiseman thing, but like Wiseman, Moody, Kuminga, like there's a bigger conversation to have about, look, the Warriors have given up on the 2 timelines, but like at some point, if you're going to draft these guys, you have to put resources into developing them. And if it's not going to work, and if it's not what you want to do, and if you're going to ride off into the sunset with Steph and Dre and Clay, fine. But then you have to get rid of those guys because, again, for the second year in a row, the Warriors are like getting caught in the middle and doing neither effectively.
Let's hear Steve's reasoning for not playing Moses down the stretch.
What was kind of the reasoning? Moses was awesome tonight. We needed to get Wiggs on the floor for defense against Fox, and we decided to go with Clay and thought about keeping him out there, but we made the move that we made. He was, by the way, Moses was fantastic. Out of the rotation tonight to start the game. Talked to him before the game and explained what we were doing. The guy, he reminds me of Loon, Moses. He's the ultimate pro. Just continues to work every single day.
And so, like, he's gonna fall on the sword here. I made a mistake. Moses has been great.
Yeah, cool.
And so what's not being really said here?
Mm-hmm.
What's not really being said is they don't want to have to deal with the hard conversations with veterans. He wants to get Clay going.
Do you think it's them or do you think it's Steve specifically?
I think do it,
yeah, that's fair.
Maybe an embarrassing loss is what makes them do it. I see the chat saying the vets were good tonight. They were not. They had a good 2 quarters. It doesn't matter.
No, they had a good first half. Yeah, they had a good first half.
Yeah, but like my point is, and I want to drive this home, the vets were excellent at the beginning of the game, and the minute adversity hit, they got outplayed by younger guys. And they got outplayed significantly by younger guys. I was ready to come on here and be like, Draymond's back. You see the difference he makes. And he does make a difference.
Right. He was Draymond in all good and bad. Yeah.
But I'm not impressed that you got out to a 20-point lead if you give it fucking away in the second half. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 4-quarter game. The entire point is to win. Yeah, they showed in stretches they can be good, but they're still not there. So you could argue, and I think it's fair to say, give them more time. I don't know if I agree, but like, I think it's fair I think you could say they showed they could do it, but they got to do it more. But I don't know, man. I'm not gonna walk away with here going, Wiggs look good, Draymond look good, because they fucking give the game away. It's not really any more complicated than that. Even if they won this game but lost the in-season tournament, I'd be annoyed, but I'd be like, you know what? Positive progress. Can't assume a 12-point win. They outright lost the game.
So that's where I was going.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let
that's where I was going, because like at some point, probably not till the fourth quarter, but at some point, maybe in the third, but probably not till the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, the focus shifts from we're winning. When the Warriors were up 17 or 15 or 12.
We're getting into the in-season tournament, so we just need to win the game.
Correct. Like at some point, the focus shifts to, oh shit, like the 12 or 15-point lead is gone, or the 17-point lead is gone. But we have to do what we can do to win this game, because to the NBA's credit, the in-season tournament games are regular season games. And the Warriors have lost whatever it is, I don't know, 8 of 11 or something like that. So at some point, the focus shifts from we got to beat them by 12 plus to we just got to win this game. And there was no digging deep, and that just didn't exist. We can talk about why, and Steph getting off the ball and them doubling Steph and trapping him and nobody wanting to do anything, and that ending up in Kevon Looney trying to attack because Draymond was doing Draymond things. But that's the troubling part for me, is that at some point it turned from win this game by X amount to just hold on to the lead and win the game. And the Warriors were not able to even do that. It was troubling.
Yeah. I mean, let me go bigger picture on this one. Here's where my head's at. I don't think they have it in them as a roster.
I agree.
I think there are players on this roster who can contribute to winning a title, including Steph Curry, who I truly believe is still good enough to be the best player on a title team.
Do you think there are people other than Steph that can, though?
Yes. I think they can in smaller roles. Let me ask you this.
Fair.
Do you think Andrew Wiggins can help a team as a fourth option?
I mean, yeah, we saw him do it 2 years ago.
That's kind of where I'm at with this team. Do you think Klay Thompson can help a team if he's not asked to be the number 2 anymore?
I'm not sure. That one, Klay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No, that's the honest answer. I'm not sure anymore.
I don't think they have a second option. Do you think Draymond can help a team?
Yes.
In general? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like, they can all help a team. I think it's Steph and a bunch of role players at this point. Like, let's be honest about what they are, which is to say they're somewhere in the middle. Their record is probably indicative of what they are. If Draymond doesn't get suspended, they're 9-9, so they're a 500 team.
That's fair.
They're pretty much pacing to be a 44-win team, just like they were last year. Trading Jordan Poole for Chris Paul, maybe the locker room feels better. I'm not actually convinced it makes them better basketball-wise. I think they're the same team they were last year. I think they're, Steph's still Steph. And
no, it's Steph and the Miracles, right? Like it's Steph, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
That's going second round exit. I'm like, yeah, right matchup. They can get second round. It's a very mediocre team. And I think we need to let go of the idea that Clay can get back to who he was pre-injury. Andrew Wiggins can ever rediscover what happened during that title run. Does what happened during that title run even happen without Jordan Poole randomly playing like an all-star for most of the playoffs? You know, like these are all things that it is what it is.
So who do you have? I agree with you 100%. But between Clay and Wiggins, who do you have more faith in rediscovering whatever it is that they were?
Here's what I think. I think both of them could potentially figure it out if you got a better player than them and they're the third option. I think it depends on who it is in terms of which one makes more sense to get there, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think Clay, I believe in more psychologically. Like I maybe it's the softy in me, but like
no, it's tough. It's dark.
He wants it, you know.
Yeah,
but Wiggins has better physical tools. Like there's no way around that.
And he's also
younger,
6 years younger. Yeah,
younger, hasn't torn every ligament in his legs, and like all these things factor in, right? So, but either way, that's kind of where they're at right now. What a like. It's just frustrating at this point.
It's very frustrating. It is very frustrating, brother. It was not good.
And you know what's the most frustrating?
What?
I didn't even hit on my bet, and I didn't hit on my bet not because of the Warriors, but because of Shea.
Shea did you dirty?
Yeah. So,
and by the way, if he would have done a little bit better and won your bet, and
I still wouldn't feel good. Just to be clear,
no. And OKC had beaten Minnesota, then the Warriors would not have had to focus on winning by 12 and could have just focused on winning the game, which didn't happen anyway. But it would have been better.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here. I say Draymond's back, so I want to bet the over on Steph and Clay's points. They both hit. And then I bet the over on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's points, rebounds, and assists, thinking...
He had like 32 points, I think.
He hit 40 total, and I needed 41 and a half. So I barely missed on it. You know, sleeper fantasy, by far the best DFS app I've ever played because I can put together these parlays. They're fun. I won last week, didn't win this week. You know, my personal lesson is never bet non-Warrior players. You know,
I know. To be fair, I think that's a bad beat for you. I would have taken the same. Shea should have had it, and he had. I think he had 32 points. So, I think it's a good. I think it was a good bet.
Anyway, the NBA season is here, which means you have a chance to 100x your cash on daily fantasy basketball. Basketball has never been more exciting now than what it is with players like Steph Curry, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant. Pick more or less on stats for these stars: points, rebounds, three-pointers, steals, doubles, and much more, up to 100x payout on Sleeper. I kind of went conservative with the 5x sleep out payout tonight. Apologies.
Yep.
But it worked out. Get your picks right. You could win big. Use promo code LIGHTYEARS, and you'll get a $100 match on your deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use. $100 match. Promo code LIGHTYEARS. Do not be a loser like me. Make sure to play.
I haven't signed up yet. I gotta sign up.
You got to and hit the.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the promo code.
Use the promo code. I'm still up on my bets on the season, but you know what? The Warriors lost tonight, so it makes sense that I lost across the board. This is how it goes. This is how it goes.
Not with your Warriors picks, not with your Warriors guys.
No, yeah. I mean, and what are you gonna say? So it's like we did bury a little of the lead. Like they lost GP2 in the middle of the game. Yep. They lost Chris Paul in the middle of the game. I kind of feel like if GP2 doesn't go down, they probably win the game.
Probably.
But That's kind of where we're at with this team. I feel like
do you have once all of that happens, right? GP2 is CP got hurt, I think in the second quarter, I think it was, and then GP2 was hurt later than that. But do you have and I'm actually asking because I don't know the answer to this. Do you have an answer for why it was Corey Joseph and not Pods? Do you have any like?
He's 30. He's 31.
We like the old guys. Well, then shit. I might could get a 10-day.
It's a vet thing. Like, let's be honest. It's a vet thing at this point. It's. Steve said pregame. I had some hard conversations pregame, and shout out to the chat for reminding me Corey Joseph's 32. I don't want disrespect. I'm
46. That means I might play 48 minutes.
It's they viewed this as a must-win game.
Yes.
And where does Steph go? Or sorry, where does Steve go with the lineup? He goes with the veterans. That's all it comes down to. You can say he shouldn't, but that's who he is. That's who he is as a coach.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah.
And
I will say he shouldn't, but you're right about that.
We're not making Josh Giddey jokes. Anyway,
yeah, no, we're staying away from all of that. Yes.
I think
he did get booed. He did get booed every time he touched the ball in Minnesota tonight, though.
I think the overarching theme is, you have a coach who wants to play veterans. You have veterans who aren't good enough. You have young players who it's not like he's benching Chet Holmgren. It's not like he's benching.
Yes, fair enough.
Guys who are so good that it's inexcusable. But to the point, Moses Moody looked damn good.
Well, that's the thing. If I'm Moses Moody, I say, what else do I need to do to get run here? Like, look, Kuminga was terrible tonight. But if I'm Moses Moody, I say, what else do I need to do to get some run here?
And to the Kuminga point, what does Kuminga look like with a coach who doesn't have him looking over his shoulder every second? Like Moses Moody
very fair question.
Being that ready when he's kind of getting the short end of the stick, no matter how well he plays, is a complete anomaly. And in some ways, I feel like if he got more rope, he could potentially play better. But I don't know. The whole thing, whether you think it's, the coaching staff's insane and Kerr's wrong, or the young guys aren't good enough, and why is the front office trying to force this on them? There's no alignment. That's all we know. Like, you could convince me either way. Well, here's what I know. Here's what I know. Right? It's not working. That's what I know.
So I think that's the problem, though, and it started with drafting Wiseman and the 2 timeline thing and Joey Lightyear saying we're, all of that. What is the plan? I think that's the question, right? If you want to have guys that you can create whatever the next era of great Warriors basketball is going to be, if you want to have those guys, fine. If you don't and you want to ride it out with the vets, fine. But again, it feels like the Warriors are stuck in the middle again. And so like if there was a plan in one direction or the other, fine. But it's the same conversation you and I have been having online and offline for 3 years at this point.
Sure.
I don't know what the plan is, right? So if the plan is we're going to do everything we can do to maximize Steph and Clay and Draymond, fine. And you got to trade those guys. If it's we need guys that are going to bridge the gap, then you have to develop those guys and give them time. And again, even without James Wiseman as an excuse, they're doing neither anymore. They're still caught in the middle.
Yeah, pretty much. Chat saying tank for Cooper Flag and like
that's not that's
2 years. That's 2 years.
I was going to say that's not this draft. Losing to the Kings in the in-season tournament finale is not going to help with Cooper Flag.
How frustrating, man! They came out like, can I just like emotional response? I thought that they had an opportunity there to get themselves on track, and I don't know why I'm surprised that they threw that away, but it's just frustrating.
The frustrating part for me was, look, I thought the Warriors were up 12-15 the entire night.
Right.
And so great. And it looked like they cared from the beginning. And once that kind of started slipping away, the frustrating part to me was once that started slipping away and it became, all right, we're up 6 or 8 and win the game. The Warriors couldn't hold on to that. That's the frustrating part for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Win the game. Like, if put aside the in-season tournament, win the game.
Yeah, I agree. We got one more Kerr soundbite, and then we'll get to the Goons.
Good. Fun.
We're not in a free fall. It's early part of the season, and we're losing a bunch of close games, and we can see it on tape every game. Fouling, turnovers. I can only say it so many times. Those two things have to improve. When they do, we're going to be really good.
This was a conversation we kind of had last year, though. I feel like it was fouling and turnovers. Does this feel different to you than last year?
And what
it was? I mean, we would have the fouling turnover discussion a lot. Late game issues. Does it feel like? I mean, is there a concern that it's just kind of continuing a little bit?
Of course, there's a concern. We made those two things the entire focal point at the start of camp, and we haven't made those improvements. So we've got to.
I've
There's so many thoughts.
1 to 2 thoughts on this one. One,
hold on, Voodoo Child. There was Voodoo Child 20. As long as the Warriors stay healthy, they will be fine. The Warriors are healthy now, or were today, and we're not fine. But go ahead. Go ahead, Sammy.
He's protecting his guys,
of course,
and increasingly, I wonder what for. Like, when is the eject button on this? When is the we're going to do something different button coming? Because to me, it's he rejects.
So who do you think has to have that conversation?
He rejects the premise that it's the same as last year. But how does it feel to you?
Same as last year?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so you don't have Jordan Poole acting immature.
No, the vibes seem better, but the results seem the same as last year.
You could probably use Jordan Poole's ability to get to the rim. But, I mean, yeah. So
to be fair, he has not been great in Washington, but sure.
No, but like the point stands. Like, so you've
absolutely.
You've moved some pieces on the deck. Nah,
you're going deck chairs on the Titanic.
It's just like I guess where I'm at is they keep trying this. What if we tweak this? It's time to shake it up, man. And shake it up means moving a core piece. Do I think Steph Curry can still win a title? Of course I do.
I agree that Steph can be the best player on a championship team.
I've seen nothing that suggests he can't do that. I think this group, as the core group, cannot do it. And they need to come to grips with the fact that to have a team around him they probably need to make a more drastic change. And I don't know where this comes from. I'm honestly, I mean this sincerely. I'm not suggesting it's Clay. I'm not suggesting it's Draymond. I'm not suggesting it's Wiggins. Individually, I'm saying one of them has to change, or maybe Chris Paul needs to move for something else. But like one of those big contract players needs to be moved in some capacity, because I think as a totality, it's not enough.
So I agree with you. Completely. I completely agree with you. And if this just gets played out, the Warriors are a 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 seed, and see what happens.
Play-in. Maybe they miss the play-in. Maybe they're in the play.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. My pushback, though, is Wiggins or Dre or Clay, because they're not trading Steph. So Wiggs or Dre or Clay, And right now, it probably feels like Clay. What are you getting for those guys? So,
I mean, you throw it's too early to have these conversations, and I want to move it to the goons because I'm curious.
Let's get it. Yeah, no, let's get to.
I mean, the conversation is you attach picks, maybe you unload a Kuminga, a Moody, and then you're putting together a package where it's an expiring contract and the poo-poo platter of stuff. Maybe that gets you something.
No, very fair. No, very fair. And it can get you something. But is it going to get you anything that combined with Steph will get you anywhere you want to go is the question.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, before we get to the goons, got a couple of bills to pay.
Let's play them.
And you know me. I'm all about paying my bills.
Let's pay the bills.
So we're going to start with Under Armour. Steph Curry makes you believe you can do anything, and the Curry 11s are specifically designed the ultimate bounce, grip, and stability to allow everyone to do their thing. New generations of ball players are coming up and showing the basketball world the old rules do not apply. Shout out to Aaron Fox, by the way. The future is exciting, fast, positive, and hungry. This NBA, rock your favorite players and rep their shoes on and off the court. Steph's 11th signature shoe steps into the second decade of his sneaker career, pulling colorways inspirations from the wonders and positive and modernized future on and off the court. Take these kicks with you when you leave the scrimmage and rep UA wherever you go. Do your thing. Change the game. Curry 11, Future Curries, available now at currybrand.com. Second one. This is my personal, you guys know.
Make some more money.
AG1. When I started drinking AG1, notice the difference. That's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs for gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of nutrition, foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create smarter, better ways to elevate your boost. So, look, man.
No, to be fair, you've told me offline, about that you put them in the fridge when you wake up at 5:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning because
these are factual
now, and
these are factual statements. I have a soon to be 2-year-old toddler who runs my life in every possible way.
As he should.
These are not fake endorsements on this front.
No, you've told me
I'm having this.
Yep. Yeah, you put them in the fridge, and when you get up at 5 or 4:30 or 5.
So not only did I replace my multivitamin with AG1, but I love that every scoop also includes prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for gut supportive management, magnesium, B vitamins, and energy support. Honestly, better than coffee for me at this point. This is where things are really changing, where you're like, wow, this feels better than coffee. Coffee is usually the go-to in the morning, but at this point, AG1 is a go-to for me. AG1 is a supplement I trust to provide the support for my body. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1/lightyears. That's drinkag1/lightyears. I've seen a couple of you have already told me you've ordered it, given the positive reviews.
Who on the Warriors bench most needs AG1?
Dude, the problem with the Warriors is they all need it at this point. Like, it's the problem with the Warriors.
I think Kuminga's number one.
I was gonna go with Clay, but
that's fair. That's fair. That is fair.
Right. Let's get to the goons. We'll start with our guy, Giova, who's gonna just say, "I told you. I know how he rolls, but you know what? He's been concerned trolling all year.
Let's go, California Golden Bears.
He's been concerned trolling all year, and it would just be rude of me to not let him at least say, "I gave you fair warning."
I mean, look, I did. Well, I did. Like, I've been called a doomer in the Discord all summer, because like all I saw was like them doing the same exact thing over and over, and then trying to convince me that Chris Paul was like the savior. He's gonna change everything. And Chris Paul, who's hurt again, by the way, like hamstring. He's like 40 years old and he's still hurt for some reason. I don't know why. But like my thing is like simple, right? Like Sam said, like I think changes are needed. Like I don't know who, like for who. I'm not quite sure. Like I think Steph and Draymond can still help a team. I think Wiggins is still like useful. Like his contract at 27 years old is still like he's a wing that can shoot the basketball when he's like right. So that's still a useful player. Clay, I mean, like yeah, I think if there was someone else that was like a bit better next to Clay, who, like I guess get him like his shot open, I think Clay can help a team. Like I think he's still good enough to help a team. If there's like another dude that's like on Steph level almost, like I guess. But like that's really my take. Like, my take is like I think this team has good pieces, but they need more. They need to do something different. They need something else. Yeah, that's my take, honestly.
Appreciate you, Joseph. I mean, yeah. At this point, we are at 18 games, maybe the 20.
18 or 19,
yeah. It's. I don't know, man. I guess you could convince me they just need a tweak off the bench, but I kind of think they need a bigger change. Anyway,
I mean, I think the bigger question though is, I think it's a fair conversation to have, and it's an uncomfortable conversation about what to do with Clay. But if you are going to trade Clay, like, what are you going to get? Who are you trading him for?
Well, I mean, back to the point. Even if, okay, let's say they decide to trade Chris Paul.
Yeah.
These are all kind of expiring contract moves. So it comes down to what are you willing to attach to them and for what? So,
but to be fair, you could
go all in on a player and throw a bunch of future picks away because you're convinced that it's worth it. Or it could be a Russell Westbrook situation where you throw one pick in there and you get 2 to 3 role players on teams that are like a Utah, like where they're just like, look, man, we just want the pick. Like Malik Beasley is not helping us. Rui Hachimura is not. Yeah. We're just kind of like we're building.
The only reason I bring that up though is because the difference, especially for a team as the Warriors are, that are trying to avoid the second apron but are way into the tax. The difference between CP, who makes 30 or 30 whatever, and Clay, who makes 40 whatever, is very different in this case, right? For like what you can take back or what the opposing team in the trade is wanting to send back. So I think it's a fair conversation to have, but I don't know who wants Clay, who's going to be a free agent at $43 million or whatever he makes.
Sure. But I mean, it's still too early to get into that. Let's get to Tachian.
What's up, my man? Yes, very true. Yes.
Yeah, to you guys' point, it's like I am not thinking about trades because basically it requires me to either think of Masai Ujiri, who's a complete asshole, Jerry West, or Danny Ainge, who is a jerk in his own right, to give out free handouts for trades that will actually move the needle.
It's really like trying to get like a money day loan. It's just you don't feel good about it. You're not going to come away with terms you want. It's bad.
You're getting that 48% loan.
Exactly.
You're losing an organ regardless. You just got to figure out which one you're losing.
I love that.
But yeah,
look, you have 2 kidneys, brother. You'll be all right.
But yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with the starting lineup. Once is a habit. Well, once is a fluke, twice is a habit. The starting lineup is like minus 14 entering the game, and it just keeps getting worse in crunch time. So if you want to say Moody is the answer instead of Joku, I am completely fine with that. And to people's point about Kerr being stubborn and whatnot, I will say this. If Kerr is supposed to be a Popovich disciple, he's supposed to have the tough love card in his bag. He did it with Andre Iguodala. He's done it with other players in the past. So if he doesn't want to do it, if he doesn't want to give the tough love to either Wiggins or Clay in order to make sure to give Moody more run, because that's the only logical way for Moody to get more run at this point right now, then it's probably more time to think about Kerr's future. That's just me personally. But he's not going to get fired in the middle of the season, but it's like no extension for you. That's my takeaway.
I agree with you. That's why I haven't really, and Tachi, I appreciate you. That's why I'm not like super excited to have the coach conversation, because it's just like, we know that's an off-season conversation.
It ain't going
My question is there a move to be done in the middle of the season? And to be honest, probably won't know for 6 weeks. Like, we're almost at December 1st.
The entire league can't trade. I mean, whatever. It's like 60% of the league is untradeable until December 15th. And
yeah, but even we move beyond that, like, let's be realistic. Mid-January is when, like, and really late January is when teams are like, okay, I'm going to make a deal. Now let's make the offer serious. So, it is what it is.
No, yeah,
it's
that's
like,
correct.
If you want the Warriors to make a go for it move, your concern right now is them playing themselves into a situation to justify it to the front office.
Very fair. And then the like secondary point to that, 1B to your 1A is for whom, right? Who will be available? And as of right now, there's nobody, at least to my eye, there's nobody available that matters.
Well, I mean,
that could change. Right, that could change in another month.
It's early. It's early. Yeah. But we'll keep moving. We got a guy Luke up here. See what he's got to say.
Oh, look at that. Who was in the Avi? Okay, you know what? Go ahead.
You there? You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry, it's absolutely fucking pissing down here. How you going? Sorry, give me a second.
What time? You
got the umbrella? What? Yeah, I love it.
Mate, look at that. It's fucking hosing down. Look at that.
Yeah.
Shout out playback, by the way. So.
How you going, Aaron? You good, man?
Better than I deserve, brother. Nice to talk to you again.
Yeah, good, man. Hey, I just want to quickly ask you before I fucking open up. If that was LeBron-led team tonight, what would happen?
A lot of people would be questioning whether they still had a job tomorrow.
Correct. Exactly right. So a little bit less fucking talking about what if, a little bit starting, let's start actually talking about what's wrong with the team and actually what's going on, because I had to sit and watch that today. It was 10-5, and I'm like, yeah, they're all good. And I'm like, they're up by what? I think, Sammy, they're up by 7, were they, Sammy? 7? But, well, a couple of them ago. And then they took Moody out, and I saw you tweet go, uh-oh. And I'm like, yeah, that's usually a bad fucking sign. I'm like, yeah, great. So I'm like, just hang on, guys. It's all good.
Luke, you're my favorite brother.
And then I'm like, oh, yeah, we're gonna botch this. And I saw Sheed post on. It's like, yeah, that's not great. I'm like, yeah, great. And then that fucking turnover because no one followed Steph. And then the Draymond pass. And I'm actually at the point I said to him, I said, sorry if the rain's too loud. They actually deserve to lose because to your point, Aaron, I think the mid-season tournament's actually good because I want them to be fucking embarrassed by this because they're a lot better team than what they're playing like. And also, too, there are players there that should be embarrassed and should be ashamed of what they're doing. And also, too, I don't want to see fucking Bob Myers go on ESPN and go, oh, it's very hard. Oh, yeah, sweet. Yeah, cool, man. Mike, time to show how big your kahunas are and start making some calls. Because if Chris Paul's out by any imagination at all, they have to make a move. Because this team's too good. We only got 1 or 2 more years left, Sammy. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just... Yeah. You can't, like, have you blokes watched The Office?
Yep.
The US version? The last episode when Andy's sitting in the fucking doing his monologue and he goes, remember the good times when you're in, you didn't realise you're in them? That's exactly what this team is right now. Like, don't fucking just piss it away because, you don't want to, you don't want to make a hard call, but I'm sure if you sat down Clay and gone, Clay, just pull your fucking head in, stop being an idiot, you'd be okay. Like, if you're not going to play Kaminga, you're not going to play Moody. Like, don't get me started on the Moody thing, Sammy. I knew straight away. I thought of you straight away. I was like, mate, fuck off. You can't take
Well,
Moody.
he made 6 shots in a row.
Oh,
it was.
And by the way, the one he missed, there was an offensive foul of the Warriors against the Warriors called, and he still made the shot.
Yeah,
mate, it's a fucking disgrace him coming out. Like, seriously, if that was any other coach, seriously, there'd be an ESPN league tonight going, yeah, Joe Laker's not happy with him. It's time to fucking start, like, you know, aiming up. But anyway, what I was going to say, if you're not going to play him, package him or tell him we're going to find you a better situation. And like you guys said, I know it's going to be hard to do, but they need a second player. Like, I think we've got enough data now to say all of the three of us can agree. Wiggins is not going to be the second guy. Clay's not the second guy anymore. It's time to be that guy. Like, it's time to be.
Here's what I think is interesting is that Wiggs, for the most important moments of his career, right, in the playoffs in the championship year, and then especially in the finals, he masqueraded as that guy.
That's right.
So then that kind of complicates the conversation now.
That's right. And to Sammy's point, he had 3 good months of basketball. He lived up to the number 1 pick. That's fine. He got us the championship. But these guys are too fucking good to be sitting below. No disrespect, Aaron, but to be sitting below the Lakers and looking this shit and be out of the mid-season tournament. I don't really care about the mid-season tournament, but I care about what it represents, because you know what's going to happen tomorrow. Sammy's going to go on Twitter, and you're going to go on Twitter, and you're going to have to defend all these fucking idiots going, oh, they're washed, they're finished, oh, this is the cause over, fucking trade. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, First Take's going to be like, oh, they're finished up, oh, make a move. Just
or
have
like
the hard conversation.
To your point, like, yeah. Maybe they
No,
are.
to me, it was
not everyone.
Like,
Luke, I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you keep moving.
No, to me, the real problem was, like, fine, like, you got to win by 12 to advance for a tournament. Maybe you care about, maybe you don't. Fine, but once that started slipping away, at least win the fucking game.
Yeah, and I think the bigger question that everyone doesn't get to retire a legend. If you want everyone to retire a Warrior, you're going to be the San Francisco fucking Giants sucking ass for a decade. Because every dude,
A's fans,
every dude who fucking had an important bunt in a game in 2012 gets a lifetime contract. That's not how it works.
Hernandez had an important bunt in a playoff game for the A's.
Chat's going like Scudero statue. That's my point.
Marco Scudero, I love it.
Steph gets to have his retirement tour where he sucks. Everyone else, I'm sorry. You're still going to get a statue and you're going to be revered every time you come home. But the 49ers traded Joe Montana,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice did not retire a 49er.
No.
And I'm not saying...
The Raiders and the Seahawks, yeah.
That's life. That's life. Not everyone gets to... You don't get to have the entire team retire off the same way. Most people do a swan song with another team.
Yeah, Michael Jordan played 2 years as a Wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Steph is Joe Montana.
Clay is Lincecum. Interesting.
I was gonna say Clay's. My analogy is Madison Bumgarner. Absolute gamer in the playoffs. Regular season numbers will never really match it. And you know what? To San Francisco people, he's one of the greatest of all time. To people outside of the area, probably not. But what he did in the playoffs, you can't ignore it. Anyway, it's either here or there. Yeah, Harden is a Clipper. No, we're not going there. Let's keep moving. We got other Luke in Australia coming through. We're going to all Australia right now.
Fuck me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
We got you, brother.
Oh my god. I was at work.
You came in strong.
I was at work and I was like, you know what? I'll stay to see if we make the play-in. I mean, not the play-in, the in-season tournament. And then all of a sudden, I'm staying. It's raining outside, and oh man, it wasn't raining with the Warriors. That's for sure. Except for Moses Moody, he made it rain. But fuck, honestly, I'm on the board of fire Kerr again. I think my question for you guys would be, if you had to give the contract to either Clay or Steve Kerr for next season and going onwards, who would it be, and why?
Appreciate it, Luke. I'll take you on. Moving on.
Juices.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
Neither.
please do, because
Neither.
I don't have a good answer yet.
Neither.
Yeah,
No,
my answer is neither, but I'm trying to figure out a way to come to somebody.
My honest answer is, and I said this on our Thanksgiving episode, I'm comfortable with either direction. I think shakeup's good for everyone in general. I think Steve Kerr might be a better coach if he doesn't have. There's some emotions tied to Clay.
Yeah,
and there should like, you know what, there should be, given what you want with him, right?
Look, I'm team like Ryan.
And on the flip side, let me take this point home.
Yeah,
I don't think Kerr has it in him to be the guy who tells Clay, "You are a bench shooter now," or you are like, I don't know what his role is, but like, you're not the undisputed guy. You're in the mix. And if you're going, we're going with you. But if you're not going, we're going in a different direction. And I think that's one of those things where it's like a different coach with him, it's okay. Or if he goes on and Kerr's coaching different guys, it's okay. But the two of them together, they're not going to backstab each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like go down with the ship a little bit.
Yeah,
To answer Luke's question, I'm comfortable either direction. I just think they need to shake it up.
So I am team. You ride Steph and Clay and Dre off into the sunset, and ride it till the wheels fall off, and the wheels are starting to fall off. And also, I think Steve Kerr should have been fired 6 years ago.
Relax.
So, but like, I think the question becomes, who do I think is a bigger problem now? And this is not, I'm not representing the show. I'm not talking for anybody other than me. Who do I think is a bigger problem now? I don't know. I think that is like a fair question to ask. But if, I think it's a fair question to ask. I'll leave it at that. I think it's a fair question to ask, but the question becomes, is Clay willing to transition into a role that more reflects his game at this point? And we don't know the answer to that. I suspect no, but we don't know the answer to that.
We'll see. Archie, what's up, man?
Hey, Sam. Hey, Aaron. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, got you, brother.
Yeah, I was going to actually come and rant when they won the game, and then they ended up not winning. So it kind of just made me change my whole perspective. But
you and me both.
Yeah, I think in a nutshell, I think the first time I called this season, I said my biggest concerns were both point of attack as well as just rim protection for the team. I've noticed, like, over the course of this season, we've really struggled, obviously with the youth, like younger teams that can get to the rim, teams that are just quicker than our veterans. I know that Kerr said in his presser, we're not in a free fall. I think he should be in a free fall if he doesn't embrace the youth for the team, or at least find out how to develop what he has. When Moody got taken out of the game, after being on the heater, it just felt like it was heartbreaking just to kind of see it. Not because, I know he's going to do the loyalty clause with Clay and Wiggs or whatever, but that's just a situation where, you have to have situational awareness. Like, he just was playing very well, and you just can't take him off the game when he's the only one that was creating offense as far as hitting threes. For Aaron, in regards to whether it's easier to, quote unquote, sign Clay or sign Kerr, I think it's really easier to sign Clay, just because I think for Kerr, a lot of it is how he enables the team to do what it is that they do. The last 3 games, we've had 57 turnovers. 57. Now we had like 80 assists or whatever, but
Sammy, you're on mute.
Jacob's coming on. He's got the Draymond avatar.
Yes.
I'm pretty disappointed in Draymond.
Yeah, he didn't. Dre did not cover himself in glory tonight.
On the one, like, I mean, I don't know. It's like all the veterans. He looked good in the first half. He was very important for them getting up, and then they get into adversity. And like, I put it this way: it's this simple. You're a 4-time champion. You're a veteran, and you showed less poise than Trey Lyles. You showed less poise than
no, you're absolutely right. No,
you showed
100%.
less poise than Harrison Barnes. Showed less poise than Kevin Huerter. I mean, I don't even want to. Well, no, I'm displaying that I don't think the Kings are that good. But like,
the Kings, no, the Kings aren't that good. And the Warriors were up 12, 15, and 17, 24 the whole night. I don't like the part that's frustrating. Again, the part that's frustrating to me is not you couldn't bring it home and win by 12 for the play-in tournament or for the in-season tournament. But once that became like kind of questionable, you can't lose the game.
Yeah. All right, Ishan, what's up, man?
What's up? Hey guys. Really sad
brother?
about my team. In general, kind of I have a motto: don't cry about sports, but got pretty close today. I just feel like this team is so frustrating to see. We're like poking on the ceiling. We're about to get out of the hole, and we just fall every time. And it's like that Timberwolves game where Pods went crazy. And I could just see the timeline would go nuts if we pull out that game. Bang. Mike Conley hits a dagger 3 to end it. And then, Wiggins gets out of his slump. And then, bang, Chet Holmgren hits some bullshit shot. And then today, like, it felt like, wow, the season's going to change. Like, everything is good vibes. Everything's going to be good. We're back. We just need Draymond back. And bang, we just can't do it. And it kind of brings me to a point where it's like, man, it feels over. Like, Steve, the game has passed him by. He's done. Like, he just can't do it anymore. And the thing I think the previous caller was talking was, it's not it's pretty heartbreaking to see what happened to Moody because he was on the verge. We'll never know on a historical night for him. We'll never know if he would have made 3 more shots or if he would have missed 3 more shots. That number 7 dude on 17 or 7 on the Kings, who was hitting all those shots like with the left-hander.
Venkov, yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha
He got
Venkov.
the chance to stay in and miss 5 shots after he went crazy, and Moses Moody didn't get that shot. And a moment like that can really change someone's career and is messing with Moses Moody's mental and his money and his playing time. And it's just not fair to see that happen to someone. And
let me take a step farther. This team's desperately searching for life. They're searching for someone to give them like that added bump. And it could have been Moody. It could have been Moody being the guy who hit the 2 to 3 big shots to seal tonight's game, to put them through. No one's going to walk away from it being like, Moses Moody's the new second option on this team. But it's like, you're not giving even opportunities to other players on this team to breathe life into what is like, and let me know if I'm speaking out of turn, but like, they feel stale, man. That's where I'm at.
I agree. And then my last point is that this is a very poorly coached team because you saw, I don't know if it's personnel, and I'm never going to like shit on Looney, but like, it's just, you see how like they're tricking off at the end of games, and you see Steph get trapped and the team can't handle a 4-on-3. It's like mind boggling to me how there's 2 people on Steph and we don't have a player who can just get to the basket and make a fucking layup. And then it's just like, oh, okay, like Looney goes to the line. Oh, of course we're gonna miss those free throws. It's just like it's not on the players.
I think it's a bigger question. Like, why is Looney in that position to begin with? Looney's not for all the wonderful things that Looney does.
Yeah,
like
overused.
That's not his game.
He's a matchup guy like GP2, a damn good matchup guy in the right matchup. But he's not.
I don't need him. I don't need Loon playing 4-on-3. That's not his game.
He's not Anthony Davis. He's not,
he's not Draymond.
He's not Bam Adebayo, where he's just like in any matchup. Ishan, appreciate you calling in. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Keep moving.
It was frustrating. Let's keep it moving. Yeah,
we got a long list of people to get to. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts. Paratosh, what's up, bro?
Hey guys, I'll try to keep it quick. Hey Sam, hey Aaron. I guess Sam, you know what I'm going to say in this case, but I'll still say it anyway. I think the whole overarching theme with this team is that it's stuck in the past. That's true for the core three. Of course, they want to win or ride or die into the sunset playing their way. It's also true, of course, for Kerr as well. And I honestly think that Kerr, we need to expect better from Kerr, a coach that's supposed to be and is an all-time great coach. They need to know when the writing is on the wall for a way of like doing things, for a way of coaching the team, for a way of trying to win. And I honestly think that that's what separates him from, for example, Popovich. Because you can see in the last couple of years, Pop has had played with a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys, and has tried to mold his coaching ways to support them and to let them grow. And I haven't seen any of that with Kerr. We have seen a number of rookies come and try to get playing time and never do. And that just keeps on continuing. And in that sense, I don't think there is a trade to be made this season that can fix any of this because, Modi and Kuminga don't really have any trade value right now. I don't know who is like dying to get those guys because they don't get playing time. And if they don't get playing time, they can't show what they are really capable of. So the bigger conversation for me is what do we do in the off season because Clay is out of contract and Kerr is out of contract. And I honestly think moving on and changing things would involve letting go of Kerr or at least having a conversation with him if he's able to, or does he want to change his ways and not be so stubborn about things? Because if that doesn't happen, I don't see us winning a ring.
Yeah, I mean, here's my only pushback to Paratosh. I hope I don't have to wait till off season. I hope. Look, mid-season moves rarely lead to title runs.
Correct.
But you can expedite the process. And I don't know where it leads them, but we can have the same, but what can they get in the off-season or the mid-season conversation? The sooner you accept that things have to change, the quicker you can get to them. So in some way,
I have a question. And I want your, you can give your opinion or not, but I want the chat's opinion. Is because I'm genuinely curious about this because I think Clay is probably cooked. I think he's probably cooked, but
as a star, yes,
yeah, absolutely as a star. But I think it's a fair question to ask what he is owed or what this era is owed because of what they have accomplished. So sure. I'm curious about, from Warriors fans and people in the chat, I'm curious, like, who is there to just like ride it out? Maybe it doesn't lead anywhere good. Maybe there's not another championship at the end. And maybe you just ride it out. And maybe Clay and maybe Draymond kind of fizzle out. And maybe Steph is Steph for a while and then he isn't anymore. But I'm genuinely curious from Warriors fans. Like, do you want to just ride this out? Do you want to just say like, hey, these guys did this, so I ride with them forever? Or do you want to change something up? That's kind of fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, my impression.
And now the chat's popping off. I got to go back through the comments.
My impression is it's mixed. We'll keep moving. We'll get to Danny. Danny's coming up next.
Yeah, Reed, but you ride Curry out. But does that mean you with Dre and Clay? Because maybe it does. No, I just want to win. All right.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
We
what's
got
up,
you,
man?
brother.
Hey, this is the first time I'm calling in, but I watched the show
Nice.
for a second. So I got a couple questions. First question is, what do you think the worst loss is, tonight or the game in overtime against OKC?
Ugh.
It's tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. The real answer is yes. Like both? Yeah, yes.
And then the second question is, did you guys see the post-game interview with Clay, where basically somebody asked him a question like, is Kerr being patient with you? And he was just like, well, what do you want to do? You want to bench me in
You're
Wiggs?
talking about the Kawakami. Yeah, a couple days ago. Yeah.
So I saw that, and honestly, man, because it kind of it broke my heart because I feel like Clay is the type of guy that you just really want to root for him. Like he wears his heart on the sleeve. He really he's obviously not doing well. Like we can all agree that he probably should have been benched for Moody. His ego is a problem in the team, but at the same time, it's like you see the guy and you see like holy cannoli and just every single moment he lives through. It kind of makes you really you want it to work out with him.
Yeah, I mean look. I was talking about this earlier today with some friends and in the Light Years Discord. Like, I was at the game where he tore his ACL. The game before he tore his ACL was arguably the best game of the Warriors dynasty.
He was a monster.
No one will remember it, but like they came back in Toronto and it was a pure like rip your heart out game. And then in that game 6, I've never seen Clay play better. He was the best player on the court with Steph Curry and Kawhi both on the court. And I'll always say it's about Clay. He's about the right things. The dude is an ultimate competitor. And he got injured and then he got a secondary injury, and it sucks because like his frustration is largely him not being able to do what he wants to do. But at the same time, you're sitting here and you're going like, it sucks because it's like a reality conversation. It's like, I want you, like, I know you're about the right things. I know you want to do those things, but can you do them physically anymore? And that's why it sucks. Like, to your point, it's like you want to root for him. You want to root for him, and he's done so much for the team. And in the second half, you're watching it, and you're like, I don't know, man. I see a guy with 2 surgically repaired legs in his mid-30s struggling to move. It sucks, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's all of it is an unpleasant conversation. Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question anyway, but that's what I always think about this stuff because, like, I'm not going to get on stream and crush Clay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's done too much for the team. He deserves a certain modicum of respect.
Yeah. No,
but that's the question, though, right? Is like at some point, like, and again, Sammy, you and I talked about this offline. That I think you just ride it out, right? I think Steph and Clay and Dre have earned you just ride this out until the wheels fall off. But the wheels are falling off right now. So I don't know. I think it's a fair question to ask. Like,
well, yeah,
you ride it out till the wheels fall off. But at some point, there has to be a point where you say,
well, someone has to do the hard thing, right? Like that's what it comes down to.
Correct. But and this is a real question. Like, I don't think Bob could have done it, or I don't think Bob would have done it. So is that?
Well, I think he let us know. He let us know he wasn't going to do it by leaving.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So. Is that Dunleavy? Is he going to have to do that? One way to find out, I guess.
There's a reason why Kerr isn't on contract right now. I think it's not just, And
No,
I think also, we played against Mike Brown today, and we saw like maybe during the last title run, it wasn't Kerr being a genius, and it was more he had a good supporting staff around him, and
all of this is 30. All of this is 30.
yeah, no, absolutely. It all ends with him, and that's why, in my opinion, everybody who's not him is on the trade machine.
I agree. I appreciate you, Danny. Have a great evening, my man. I think we can. Should we keep moving? Should we get one more up here? I think we get one more.
We got people here. Let's get it. We got more goons. Let's get it.
I got Bleacher Dave up here real quick.
What a great Abby.
Maybe I'll just stick with the Abby. It's dark outside.
No, we like that. Unless that's an Oregon hat, we like it.
That's Oakland.
I like Oakland. The town, we love it.
Oakland, 1946 Oakland Larks, baby.
Yeah, we love it. The town, we love it.
Yeah, look.
What's up, Dave?
Look. What's up, Sam? How you been, baby?
I've been good. How you doing?
Man, how am I doing? I'm doing
as good as one can be after a night like tonight, right?
There we go.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I got some spicier words for it though. What's happening, Aaron? Nice to meet you, brother.
You as well, brother.
Look, man, that's nasty. That's nasty work tonight. It's nasty. Look, the Kings, we've been sunning the Kings for their whole damn last 20 years, right? Especially the last 5 seconds.
There are 11 of 12, I believe.
Yeah, but even longer, 11 and 12 in a specific stretch. But our basketball culture has been better than theirs for a decade plus. We've been sunning them. They're trying to beat us. They've been like they have made us their rivals. And the little brother crossed the Rubicon a little bit tonight for the first time. I mean, we whomped them in game 7. Steph scored 50. Came back this season, the first game there, and scored 40. We have been in their heads, and they were talking about this as a statement game in November. There's no statement games for me in November, I'll tell you that. But this was an important win for them. So I think, it's raining. First thing I want to do is congratulate Mike Brown and just acknowledge the kind of job he did with changing his team for the second half. I mean, the Kings came out and won the third quarter and the fourth like the Warriors used to do, right? And so whatever he did at halftime to bring up their intensity, because the Warriors came out and looked like the team that we used to love, that we still love, that used to play like that. Tough on defense, Draymond snuffing the 3-on-1 fast break, Clay hitting shots, Wiggins hitting shots. Everybody's being efficient. The defense is tight. The team is intense and lively. I just don't know if they can play that way for a whole game anymore. And so as we think about a couple of questions you asked, who's owed what? Ain't nobody owed nothing. Everybody's got paid all that money according to their contracts. Dull and fair. I think by the fan base, I think it was Bill Walsh who taught us 1 year too early is far better than 1 year too late. I just don't know if the Warriors, if Dunleavy, in particular Kerr, have that kind of ruthlessness. I also recognize that they created billions of dollars worth of value for Joe Lacob. And he may have a deeper sense of loyalty. So if you ask me, yeah, right? I mean, he took him from $800 million to like $7 billion in 15 years. Unfreaking believable, right? So I don't know, man. So that was a worse loss. So that OKC game, that was a great game. We saw 2 game-winning shots at the end. I didn't walk away. I walked away like I saw a great game, but just a bad ending. This sucked. This was nasty. This was a nasty loss. And it looks for all intents, it looks like the same team as last year that couldn't close on the road, that lost their poise at the end. This is not a small sample size, I believe. This is looking like the team that played like that last year, and we had our all dudes. And so one of the questions that came up is, why didn't Moody get the close? Which one of them dudes that's won 4 championships are you going to take out and put Moody in for? So that's my question to y'all in the room, because I think something has to happen. These dudes, I think somebody said stale. I think you might have said that, Sam. I think that's how they look. They can't play full games with that level of intensity and defensive intensity and rebounding. You kick your ass on the board.
And they used to, and to your point, they used to be able to.
Yeah, it just
and that's what aging is, right?
This is what getting old looks.
I think if the question is,
yeah,
who of all these dudes that have won a championship, and we're just saying that these guys have won 4 championships and they are untouchable, is the answer, then it's cooked, right? Because that in and of itself implies that what people did translates to what they may do in the future or who they are now. And I think that's largely a part of the Warriors' problem, is that Clay now isn't what he was.
Yeah.
Wiggs isn't what he was when he was the second best team on the title team, second best player on the title team. So I think that's a very valuable question, is who of the 4 title, the guys who have won 4 titles, are you going to bench for Moody? Those guys aren't those guys now. And I think it's a very reasonable question.
I think that's right. Let me leave you with this. There's no rational reason to believe that these guys are going to get better, that they're going to suddenly get better. We passed that inflection point. They're all on the other side of the hill. I just don't believe that they're going to somehow capture some magic and be the team they were not even two years ago, which they could really only be once the playoffs started. You can't do that. I think if you're right, if you want to play the safe path, to ride this team, to ride the same lineup down the glide path down. But I think you got to be bold. I don't know what the answer is. Steve Kerr won 4 championships with these dudes. I get his loyalty. I don't know what to do, but Clay had 10 rebounds. He did not play terrible. Steph didn't trust Wiggs down at the end of the game when he took on the whole team and chunked one up because Wiggs shot poorly. I don't know which one of these guys can't play. Fundamentally, Wiggs is in the prime of his athletic career at his age. If he doesn't play better, the Warriors can't win. So I don't think that's just it. But I think everybody else, you got to figure out something. You got to figure out a way for it. And so I'll leave you with this. Kerr has said, this is the deepest bench of my career. Al was 1 in 75 playing 10 dudes. I don't think you can do that now. I think you can't have the deepest bench you've ever had. You got to get off some of them dudes and get a stronger 7, maybe an 8.
Why didn't Pods play today? Could somebody answer that for me? Why didn't Pods play today?
Yeah. All right, y'all guys. Thanks for bringing me up. Good talking to you. I'll let you give somebody
Good
else.
to meet you, brother.
Here. And why didn't Pods play today? Because Kerr said he'd play every game. Later.
Have a great one, Bleacher Dave. I mean, I'm going to end it on this. Deepest bench you ever had, but you don't play them?
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's as simple as that.
Thank you.
We're going to end it on that. I appreciate everyone who came through. We'll get the rest of you next time.